The safe travel ecosystem is a collaboration across the industry to create a set of digital solutions along the traveler journey to cope with the friction the pandemic has put to travel. And it lets the traveler travel with a peace of mind. There are three categories of solutions. The first one is one source of truth of travel restrictions implemented in all major touchpoints of the journey to help travel professionals and the traveler to understand the travel restrictions. We've implemented this one source of truth in all the major touchpoints, from retail travel agencies, corporate booking tools, airline call centers, and also as an API for online travel agencies and others. The second area of solutions is around the health validation at self-service check-in to help the airlines validating health documents before people arrive at the airport, avoiding queues at the check-in counter. What we've done here is that travelers can upload their health documents by themselves, either by scanning a QR code, taking a photo of a piece of paper, or providing a file, and then we check the documents against rules. The third category is to help the traveler finding a test center when being abroad. At your home base, you certainly know where to go to get a test. At your destination, you may not even speak the language. The environment has been very volatile during the pandemic. There are countries which have changed their regulations more than 100 times since the beginning of the pandemic. In the beginning, we've seen that tests and digital test results have been the solution proposed by several players. And then with the vaccination, the governments took control to create formats, digital formats, to prove your state of vaccination. For example, the European Union Digital COVID Certificate, in short EUDCC, has been one of the formats with the highest success. More than 60 countries have signed up to this standard and are participating. But there are other formats like smart health cards, which has been widely used in Canada and the US, or the DIVOC format I mentioned before for India, Philippines, and Jamaica. What we've also seen is that we had tests in the beginning, then a combination of test, vaccination, and electronic passenger locator cards. And now it's moving back to when you're vaccinated, you don't have any further restrictions. And some countries are completely without any restrictions again. But the speed of these changes is different based on the region of the world. While Europe is more or less without restrictions at the moment, Asia and some countries there are just opening up for travel again. That's a very good question. There has been travel restrictions before the pandemic. Think of the need to present your passport, which needs to be valid, even 6 months after departure, for example, or visa, which you need to enter certain countries. There will be travel restrictions in the future, even if health document may not be needed any longer. What we have proven with the Travel ID for Safe Travel is that we can, in a self-service way, provide documents needed for travel, for health. And now we're extending that to provide any kind of document in a self-service manner that is needed for travel. For example, when you need to provide a passport, why not taking a picture of your passport? We're extracting the data out of the picture and we're feeding the fields for the back-end system, allowing you to be boarded. And this has a better quality of data for the airlines, for the governments, but also an increased user experience for the traveler. The way we work has changed, so has travel. The future will be more complex than what we've seen before the pandemic, and the only way of removing this complexity for a good traveler experience is digital solutions. think of the need to reduce your carbon footprint. The European Union, for example, has created the European Green Deal, which means that corporations have to reduce their footprint down to net zero, but also leisure travelers want to reduce their footprint and want to know about it. So this means you need to understand your footprint based on different mobility options, then select maybe the one with the least footprint, and then compensate for the footprint you still have. But also travel providers will reduce their footprint by compensating by themselves or by reducing energy consumption, for example, different heating systems in a hotel. So this will lead to complexity, which we want to cover with what we call the sustainability ecosystem, similar to what we have done for safe travel.